Okay, I think this is the fourth take for the video, so I hope it works this time. I've had people ask me when they come see the farm on my dimensions for the rabbit hut or rabbit tractors, so I just figured the best place to put it is here, and I just tell them go look at the video and get me views. So they're 6 feet long. Well, these two are 6 feet long, and I got one that's shorter, which was the first one, is the shorter one, and I had that one for about a month and decided, well, what I really want with rabbit tractors, and this is what I ended up with after watching a few videos on it. And so they're 6 feet long, and the nest box is 16 inches long, I guess. And then I think it's 57 inches long for the outside run part. Yeah, 55 inches. And then they're 2 feet tall, and I did that just because then it's one roll of chicken wire around the outside. And then 6 feet long too is because I'd take that last 2 feet at the end and put it here. I have to trim it down a little bit. But it's all made out of 2x2s and then a sheet and a half of plywood. So I think it took 8 2x4s roughly to make one of these. Well, more like 7. I think it took 7 to make one of these pens and the sheet and a half of plywood. And so I made it 4 feet wide just so I wouldn't have to rip down the piece of plywood just because that's a big hassle. And then you see the door, how it overlaps out into here just a little bit, I think, I don't know, 9 inches or so. Just enough so when I pull the rabbit tractor forward, all the dishes that are in the bottom all go to the back when I pull it forward so I don't have to open the big door. And when it's wet like it is today, there is enough weight to that where you don't really want to be holding it over your head and having to reach all the way to the other side to get it unless you have a cane or something to grab it. And I didn't use slats all across the bottom. So you see I only use slats on the outside. And I think they're only a 1/4 inch thick on all the slats are only a 1/4 inch thick. I think that's 1 3/4 inch gap. And I've had no problems with rabbits getting out, especially big ones. Little ones I had some get out, but that was 100% my fault for having it on uneven ground. So the biggest thing is just make sure you have it on level ground. And without having slats throughout the whole pen, they get to eat the grass a lot better. And you see I made 2 of them, like I said. So that day I made the 2. It took 6 sheets of plywood and I think 14 2x4s. Whatever the number I said earlier, it's that. And then, so I got the doors here at the end. I wish I would have showed that earlier. You see where she has poked her head out at. You see the 2 nails in front of the door. I did that so I can take these little sheets of wood right here and slide them in there. So if I have to move it a long ways, or anyways, with bunnies you should do it for about the first week. Otherwise they'll start pinching their toes. But if I'm moving them a long ways, I can run them inside, and that really helps. And with guinea pigs, I really had to do that. And these work okay for guinea pigs too. They munch it right down. You see the rabbits, they were here yesterday, and you can see the kind of the line that we did with them. But I really do enjoy having rabbits out on grass. But I do supplement them just a little bit with pellets. It seems like they finish out a lot quicker, and it doesn't take a lot of pellets at all to really push them far along. So I've only got 3 in here right now, and you see how much room there is outside. And I've had up to like 14 in these, and I wouldn't have any more than a dozen's kind of pushing it. But my really happy number is like 10. I've got 8 in here, and that's a pretty good number. These are all my bucks out here. But I really do like the 8's a good number, 10's a good number too. And these are the 2 that I made on the same day. And then this is the first one I made, like the prototype. I'll go show you the things I didn't like about this one. Okay, I think that, yep, that'll stay there. So it's 4 feet wide again. The nest box is only a foot. Yeah, I think it's only, I don't even know if it's that really. Yeah, it's like 11 inches inside, which isn't really enough for them. It doesn't feel like they have enough room to really turn around and do their whole thing inside. And on the outside, I think it's only 45. Only 45. So I made it 59 inches from end to end. And I did the same 2 foot tall thing, which I really like for all of these. And then the slats are about the same. Not a big difference. I think there's a 2-inch gap on this for slats. But you see with the lids, when I have to open it to get the water dish out, I have to open the big one. And this seems like it's a little bit of a hassle. I'll show you the slats on this one with it being at 2 inches. Here, it's just easier from out here, I think. Well, might as well open it. So you see like the 2-inch gap, which works great. Now, if you're only going to raise a few rabbits, this is a fine size to use. But I wouldn't have more than probably 6 in here. It might not be that big of a difference, but you can really tell it when you're feeding them. Yeah, so I got these ones in, I think there's 5 in here. And that's about right. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 6 in here, right? No, 5. Yeah, I do got 5 in here. And that's about the right number for here. I wish I need to take these ends out. They had bunnies in here, so I put these in here, and I won't raise bunnies in these again. It was hard on the bunnies when you needed to move it every day. So I really wouldn't recommend raising bunnies. And not to grow rabbits out or just to hold rabbits in these, it works really well in my mind. But I really do enjoy rabbit tractors. But I would definitely go with a model more like that, the 4 feet wide, 6 feet long, and 2 feet tall, with a next box of 16 inches. And they're super easy to move. They don't take hardly anything to move. And then to move them, on all of them, I do got just a chain on the front, and they really don't take that much to move. I've been able to drag them all the way from up top, all the way down here, no problem to it. So this is the model I'd go with, and I've watched a couple other YouTube videos on it, and this is about what I came up with for everyone. Some people were putting wire on the bottom, and I really didn't like that idea. I didn't feel like they could pull their grass up as well. And the Joe Salatin thing had slats all the way across the bottom, and this was just, to dig out, they'd have to go still quite a long ways, and if you're moving it once or twice a day, you're kind of preventing them from digging out. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, and thank you for watching.